everyone, today I will be talking about this month June. In the month of June, we celebrate it as the Pride Month, and we can see that there are a number of Pride parades that are going. So in today's video, we will first understand the history of this Pride Month, then we will talk about section 377 and the status of homosexual marriage in India. Now, if you see, the origin of Pride Month spans back to the 50s. President Bill Clinton officially made it Gay and Lesbian Pride Month in 2000. Then President Barack Obama made the commemorative time more inclusive in 2011 by titling it as Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual and Transgender Pride Month. So this was the status in US if we talk about internationally. Coming on to India, the history of Pride movement in India is linked with section 377 of Indian Penal Code. So what is this section 377? Basically, it is an outdated legacy of the British era that criminalized homosexuality. And this legacy continued even after independence, despite the addition of Article 14 of the Indian Constitution, which promises equality to all, that everyone is equal in the eyes of law. Now, in India also, there were a lot of protests, there were a lot of parades that happened. So the first known protest for gay rights in India happened on 11th August 1992 outside the police headquarters. Then in 1999, it was the time in 1999 the first parade happened. The first Pride parade happened in India in Kolkata, and it was called the Kolkata Rainbow Pride Walk. And this march was the first ever Pride march in full South Asia. So this is how we can say in India how it initiated, how the awareness in regard to the LGBTQ community came. Awareness about their rights, awareness about their existence came in India. Now, the section 377, which is a relic of British India, it states that whoever voluntarily has carnal intercourse against the order of nature with any man, woman or animal shall be punished. And this included private consensual sex between adults of same sex. So this was initially what was section 377. But in 2018, after the Supreme Court judgment came, the provisions of section 377 now are applicable in cases of non-consensual carnal intercourse with adults, all acts of carnal intercourse with minors and acts of bestiality. So now it doesn't include the sex between the consenting homosexual people. Now, when we talk about this judgment, this Supreme Court judgment, it has a long history. It didn't come directly in 2018. There's a long history of judgments, and after that history, we finally reached on to this conclusion. So the first case which came was the case of Nas Foundation versus Government of NCT of Delhi. This case is of 2009. In this case, the Delhi High Court struck off section 377 and legalized consensual homosexual activities between adults. Then in 2013, one more case came, that is of Suresh Kumar Kaushal case. In this case, the Supreme Court overturned the previous judgment of Delhi High Court, which decriminalized homosexual acts, and again this homosexual sexuality was criminalized. So in the case of Suresh Kumar, the Supreme Court argued that in 150 years, less than 200 persons has been prosecuted under Section 377. Therefore, the plight of sexual minorities could not be used as an argument for deciding the constitutionality of law. And Supreme Court also ruled that it was for the legislature to look into the desirability of deleting this section of section 377 of IPC. So in short, in Suresh Kumar, the judgment of the Nas Foundation case was overturned, and again section 377, the sex between two homosexual people, became a criminal offense. Then came the case of Justice K.S. Puttaswamy versus Union of India. This case came in 2017 and is famous because in this case, right to privacy became an integral part, right to privacy became a fundamental right under Article 20. In this case, Supreme Court ruled that fundamental right to privacy is intrinsic to life and liberty, and thus it comes under Article 21 of the Indian Constitution. Supreme Court also declared that bodily autonomy was an integral part of the right to privacy. And this bodily autonomy has within its ambit the sexual orientation of an individual. So in this case, though it was not directly linked to homosexuality, but it covered the autonomy in regard to this sexual orientation. And finally, the case of Navtej Singh Johar versus Union of India came, and the judgment was given in 2018, where it was held that homosexuality should be decriminalized, and the court dismissed the position taken by the Supreme Court in Suresh Kumar Kaushal case in 2013 that the LGBTQ community constitutes a minuscule minority, and so there was no need to decriminalize homosexual sex. So now the Supreme Court held that even though there are not a lot number of people, but still people are there and their sexual orientation needs to be understood, needs to be given importance. Once this case came, what is the impact? So now the sexual minorities in India are one step closer to living with dignity. LGBTQ community will be able to come out in open with their sexual preferences. And this decriminalization has also been associated with more self-acceptance as well as psychological and emotional security amongst LGBTQ communities. Though this judgment has came, but still morally we can see in the society that people are not coming out. People are still thinking. There's still a psychological barrier in regard to the acceptance of the people of this community. But we can see that the advertisements or the films, short film series are playing a major role in making people understand that what are the rights of this community, what is happening with this community, and how they are dealing. There are movies like Shubh Mangal Zyada Savdhan, Made in Heaven, and number of other series which talks about the issues of these people, issues of the issues which are dealt by these people. So still there is a long way to go. Now, the biggest issue here we can see is that though homosexuality has been decriminalized, but still in law, in our legal system, there is no law, there is no statute which talks about the marriage between these two people. So we can say that being a person from LGBTQ community is decriminalized, that you will not be punished for being from this community, but there is no say, there is no law in regard to the marriage of such people. There is no law which talks about the marriage between two homosexual people. Because if we see in all the laws which deals with marriage, whether it's personal laws or it is special marriage act, there is no provision that talks about it. And in future, if such issues arise, we have no way to resolve these disputes. So this is the high time that we start considering that we should make the legislature should make laws in regard to that, because still in India no such marriage can be registered. Okay, there is no such law which talks about that such marriages should be registered, with which ceremony this marriage should be done. Okay, what are the rules and regulations for them? If in future they want to get a divorce, what is the procedure? Because if a marriage is not recognized in law, then how can a divorce be? So these are the questions which should be raised and which should be taken into consideration by the legislature when it comes to the rights of this LGBTQ community. I hope this video was helpful to all of you. Please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. For subscribing to my channel, you can press the subscribe button that is there just below my video. And in case you have any query in regard to legal matter or law exams, you can reach out to me on my Instagram ID or on my email ID. Link for the same is provided in the description below. Thank you very much.